We're gonna read about dinosaurs. Actually, this is dinosaur poetry. I hope you enjoy it. Poem selected by Lee Bennett Hopkins for Anna Bear, a gentle giant of the publishing industry. Contents: Introduction, The Museum Door by Lee Bennett Hopkins, Fossils by Lillian Moore, When Dinosaurs Ruled the Earth, Patricia Hubble, Dinosaurs, Valerie Worth, What If, Israel Jocelyn Glasser, I'm Glad I'm Living, Not Now, Not Then, Prehistoric Morning, Plant Eater, Sandra Latos, Dreamscape, Lillian Fisher, The Last Dinosaur, Victoria de Najar, How the End Might Have Been, Isabel Jocelyn Glasser, Dinosaur, Margaret Hillard, Brontosaurus, A Gentle Giant Dinosaur, Lillian Fisher, Dinosaurs, Myra Cone Livingston. In The Skeleton of a Dinosaur in the Museum, Lillian Moore. Unfortunately, Bobby Katz. Lines on a Small Potato, Margaret Fishback. From Whatever Happened to the Dinosaur, Bernard Most. Index of authors, titles, and first lines. Introduction. 65 million years ago, dinosaurs disappeared from the earth. Though there are dozens of theories that have attempted to explain what happened, no one really knows. Their disappearance, however, has certainly done nothing to diminish their popularity. They continue to fascinate people the world over. In this book you will meet poets who have sung the praises of these mighty creatures who once roamed the earth and whose bones now grace museum halls. Let your imagination soar as you enjoy this excursion into a bygone era. Lee Bennett Hopkins, Scarborough, New York. Dinosaurs. The Museum Door. What's behind the museum door? Ancient necklaces, African art, the armor of knights, a peasant cart, priceless old coins, a king's ancient throne, mummies in linen, and a dinosaur bone. Fossils. Older than books, than scrolls, older than the first tales told, or the first words spoken, or the stories in forests that turned to stone, in ice walls that trapped the mammoth, in the long bones of dinosaurs, the fossil, stories that begin once upon a time. When dinosaurs ruled the earth. Patricia Hubble. Brontosaurus diplodocus, gentle trachodon, dabbled in the muds of time, once upon. Tyrannosaurus raised his head and rolled his evil eyes, bared his long and yellow teeth, and bid his neighbor bye. His pygmy brain was slow to grasp the happenings of the day, and so he roamed and slew his friends and ate without delay. Brontosaurus diplodocus, gentle trachodon, dabbled in the muds of time, once upon. Allosaurus awed his foe. He awed his friends who passed. His teeth were made for tearing flesh. His teeth were made to gnash. Taller than a building now, taller than a tree, he roamed about the swamp-filled world and ate his company. Brontosaurus, Diplodocus, gentle Trachodon, dabbled in the muds of time once upon. Enters. Eaters of their friends and foe, or dabblers in the slime. Their pygmy brains were slow to grasp. Once upon a time. Dinosaurs, valueless. Dinosaurs do not count because they are all dead. None of us saw them. Dogs do not even know that. They were there, but they still walk about heavily in everybody's head. What if Israel, Josh and Glasser, what if you opened a book about dinosaurs and one stumbled out, and another, and more pour until the whole place is bumbling and rumbling and groaning and moaning and snoring and roaring and dinosauring? What if you tried to push them back inside, but they kept chomping off the pages instead? Would you close the covers? I'm glad I'm living now, not then. Lillian Fisher. When Earth was yet a little child, dinosaurs lived free and wild. Some as big as spacious homes, some as small as tiny gnomes. A few had wings to fly the skies, with giant beaks and searching eyes. Harboring murder in their breasts, they stole the fledglings from their nests. One giant breed lived deep within dark waters with its kindly kin. Still others wandered mean and bold and ate each other, I've been told. I know what might or must have been. I'm glad I'm living now, not then. Prehistoric morning. Fran Haraway. Ponderous, he wanders by the lake, swaying among ferns. He stops to take mouthfuls of new shoots, contented. He, dragging massiveness expectantly, plunges his enormity into cooling waters, disappears from view. Plant eater, Sandra Yastos, Brontosaurus thunder lizard, great Jurassic dinosaur, dinted on topmost leaves and branches of tall prehistoric trees. He walked upon all fours with ease, and never strayed from water's edge. For when an enemy drew near, he slid away from plants and sedge, into the watery depths to hide. He feared meat-eaters who could slide their teeth inside his soft, weak skin. His mouth was weak. He couldn't win a fight with any carnivore. He wanted a peaceful, gentle life with lots of plants and much, much more. Dreamscape by Lillian M. Fisher. A giant came into my dream and thundered to and fro, as thunder lizards often do. He traveled high and low. He shook the hills and mountain tops and spilled the 7 seas. He drank 11 rivers. He ate 100 trees. But even thunder giants sleep. He wandered off to find his bed. I didn't notice where he went. I simply, quickly woke instead. The Last Dinosaur, Victoria de Najar. The last dinosaur lays his head down, tired at last, tired from the long journey. No food here, no warmth, only earth, shivering and cold. So different from the past. Rocky formations spring everywhere, and palm fronds no longer sway. Gone are the balmy days, for cold has come, bringing blue death for so many prodigious creatures now fallen, who once roamed earth, cousins of this last dinosaur, who now waits for death, sighs, closes his armored eyelids, lays down his spiked limbs. Gone is the need for weaponry, for who is left to do battle? All have perished, as will this last dinosaur. How the end might have been. Isabel Jocelyn Glazer. The tall ferns shivered, and the palm trees quivered. A single bird call whiffled the jungle air, its long, chill note hanging as if frozen there. Then a glacier came, slip-sliding through, and the forest got so cold, the lips of all the dinosaurs turned basic blue. It was the end. Goodbye. Farewell. Adieu. Dinosaur. Margaret Hiller. The dinosaur. The dinosaur was once, but isn't anymore. If it were, you must agree, then you and I just wouldn't be. I confess it's much more pleasant to know that he's the one who isn't. Tyrannosaurus, a gentle giant dinosaur. Gentle giant dinosaur, slow-moving, kindly herbivore, unprotected, no defense, with tiny head, the rest immense. You walked about on stumpy legs and laid your ancient giant eggs in brush and grass at water's edge, so babes could feed on plants and sedge, and swim to hide from carnivores who fiercely screamed upon the shores. Did terror strike your reptile heart when threatened to be torn apart by tooth and horn and saber scales? Your kind could only fight with tails, but tails have never won a war, my gentle dinosaur. Yet science knows a simple truth. The horn, the claw, and saber tooth have all vanished from our earth. New species have been given birth. Museum rooms now house your bones, alongside footprints sealed in stones. Your ghosts are gathered from afar, my gentle giant dinosaur. Dinosaur. Dinosaurs. Myra Cohn, Livingston. Their feet planted into tar drew them down, back to the core of birth, and all they are is found in earth, recovered bone by bone, rising again like stone, skeletons naked, white, to live again, staring, head holes glaring, towering, proud, tall, in some museum hall. To the skeleton of a dinosaur in the museum. Lillian Moore. Hey there, Brontosaurus. You were here so long before us. Your deeds can never bore us. How were the good old days? Did you really like to graze? Did you often munch with prehistoric crunch on a giant tree or two or three for lunch? As you went yon and hither, were you ever in a dither, when your head and distant tail went different ways? Did you shake the earth like thunder with your roars and groans? I wonder, say it's hard to have a conversation with your bones. Unfortunately, dinosaurs lived so long ago, they never had a chance to know how many kids would love to get a dinosaur to be their pet. Lines upon a small potato, Margaret Fishback. Reflect upon the dinosaur, a giant that exists no more. Though brawny when he was alive, he didn't manage to survive. Whereas the unimpressive flea continues healthy as can be. So do not whimper that you're small. Be happy that you're here at all. Whatever happened to the dinosaurs, Bernard Most? Whatever happened to Allosaurus, the Bronchosaurus, the Camptosaurus, the Ceratosaurus, the Sidiosaurus, the Coelophysis, the Corythosaurus, the Dimetrodon, the Diplodocus, the Hypalosaurus, the Iguanodon, the Megalosaurus, the Monoclonus, the Ornithohominus, the Parasaurolophus, the Paleothaurosaurus, the Plesiosaurus, the Proctoceratops, the Coelurosauros, the Stegosaurus, the Trachodon, the Triceratops, and the Tyrannosaurus. Do you know? Dinosaur poetry.